Okay. Well, the second part of Saturday's doubleheader sees Paul's Steelers, unfortunately, at the Ravens. So I will hand over to you, Paul.
So if there's one opponent that could get the Steelers out of this funk that they've had over the last 4 weeks, it would be this opponent, the Baltimore Ravens, who they know extremely well. But what we don't know is which Pittsburgh Steelers team is going to turn up. Is it going to be the Steelers team who beat the Ravens in Pittsburgh earlier in the year, just playing like the game that we have seen this game before, where they not confuse Lamar Jackson, but just make it a little bit difficult for him and he shrinks in the moment? Or is it going to be the Steelers team just recently who went to Baltimore, and that whilst that game was close early, then it kind of got out of hand in the second half? I don't know if, right, there's one way to look at this game. If George Pickens suddenly remembers how to catch the ball and Russell Wilson suddenly remembers to just don't turn in the pocket for the second time because you are going to get sacked. Just let the ball go, let it go, throw an incompletion. Just don't turn. You are not Russell Wilson at 25 years old. You're Russell Wilson at, he's 35, 36 now? Like,
Yep.
yeah. So I question whether the Steelers can, if Pickens plays out of his mind, then this game could be close. And there is also the Lamar Jackson in the playoff side to this, because Lamar Jackson is, through his career, he's a regular season quarterback. He's the MVP of the league. He's leading all these, he's producing all these crazy stats. And then when he plays against the Chiefs and the Steelers and any playoff game, he doesn't seem to be that guy from the regular season. I'm going to say that this game is closer than the 9.5 spread. I think that's disrespectful to, and while it could be a blowout because the Steelers have been absolutely terrible the last 4 weeks, it's a division game. It doesn't matter. It's the playoffs. It's a division game. They play. This is a third meeting this year. And I think that the Steelers will keep it within a score. But I just think there's too much to turn around for Pittsburgh to, even though it's the Ravens and even though they know them well, I think Lamar Jackson has to be Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, not regular season Lamar Jackson for them to lose this game. And also then the Steelers couldn't stop Derrick Henry the last time they met. He ran for 160 odd yards on the ground. So, and the Steelers can't cover anybody the last 4 weeks. Yeah, there's too many questions for the Steelers. You're just going on blind faith that, okay, all these 3 or 4 things can all turn around in 1 week. That's a big jump leap of faith for me, even as a Steelers fan, to say they're going to turn around all of the issues that they have displayed in the last 4 weeks. So, and the Ravens, even if Lamar Jackson plays poorly, which he does often against the Steelers, then they've got Derrick Henry. And their defense has improved massively in the second half of the year. So I say the Ravens win, but the Steelers cover, because I think the spread of 9.5 is too much.
Yeah, very interesting. A lot of good points there. Yeah, I want to start with that point you made on Russell Wilson. This double turning move, it's got to stop. Like that's an automatic sack at Russell Wilson. Well, Russell Wilson at 35. The thing that has concerned me most over these last 4 or 5 weeks is the turnovers. and they're not all Russell Wilson's fault, but a number of them are. That's not Steeler football. Like, I feel like Russell Wilson, when he went into this year, was starting from pretty much a rock bottom position in terms of confidence. And he hit the ground running. He built his confidence back. But I feel like then he got to that point of his ego where he thinks he can be the magic man again. And that he's got a kind of, last chance saloon. He's got to stop that this week. He's got to understand where he is. Steeler football means no turnovers. If we punt because we play physical defense. If
Also,
we can't.
Just one quick point on Steelers football. So if I see one more run toss play on first, second down, I'm going to fucking lose my mind. Najee Harris is not. You're not even giving the toss play, even though it's a terrible play call. You're not even giving it to the right running back.
Right.
Elusive running back. It seems like Jalen Warren runs up the middle and Najee Harris runs his sweeps. Look at the skill set of the two backs you have.
Exactly. Spot on.
Jalen Warren, I mean, they're driving me mad, this team, because Tomlin said after the Chiefs game, big changes. Where are these big changes? I'm seeing the same play calls. I'm seeing the same, TJ Watt just rushes from the one spot. He's getting double and triple teamed. Move him. Like he's your wrecking ball on defense. Move him. At least they've got some question about where is he going to line up. Like, we're just, okay, he's just, okay. Because the Steelers are far too vanilla on offense and on defense. They play single high safety, and then we'll just do, like, man-to-man. And we're playing man-to-man with Joey Porter, who's your best corner, does not cover Jamar Chase. T. Higgins, goes out. I think he was out for a bit of the Bengals game. And you've got Corey Trice, who is a 7th-round draft pick, covering Jamar Chase. Joey Porter's he's first pick of the 2nd round. He's your best corner, not even in doubt. And he's covering the 3rd Bengals receiver. That's just simple coaching. That's just simple, right, we're not going to run toss plays with Najee Harris. We're going to move around TJ Watt. We're going to mix up our coverages a little bit, and we're going to put our best corner on their best receiver. I mean, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. If he's saying, he's handed the whole scheme over to the coordinators, or at some point he should just go, no, I've seen enough of this. Right, I've had enough. He's a strong enough personality to do it. But those big changes that he said after the Chiefs game, I don't know where they are. Sorry, rant over.
No, I love it. The point on TJ Watt, move him to the other side. It's not the right tackle's not going to follow him to the left side. So you can get advantages that way. If they want to move their double team over, that could open something else up. I think what bothers me as well, and I'm not trying to avalanche on Russell Wilson, because I actually think he's done very well for a large part of this season. But what bothers me is that final drive where the Steelers got the ball in pretty good field position, only needing to get into field goal range to win the game. And there just seemed to be a lack of football acumen. No timeouts. And Russell Wilson is throwing a 1-yard drag. No, because you're going to lose. You've got to play the percentages. I'm throwing a 1-yard drag that's now going to cost us 20, 30 seconds. I'd rather incomplete it. I could live with it.
He scrambled for 4 yards as well. What? You're just wasting time.
I would rather go 4 and out, knowing that we preserved time and gave ourselves an actual shot. But to run out of time because we've wasted time running for 4 yards, throwing, a check down for 1 yard, that makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah.
So where do we go? Because the Steelers, it's easy to forget that the Steelers are 8-2 in their last 10 meetings against the Ravens. So form matters, but maybe it goes out the window for this one because they know each other so well. Defensively, there's no way that the Steelers are going to allow that spread to be covered. It's just a question for me on turnovers with the offense. Russell Wilson cannot play hero ball. George Pickens has to complete his routes, even if they're not there. I think it will be close. I do think it will be close because I just think that the Steelers have a lot of pride in themselves. And this is the playoffs. They will not let this just die out. I guess seeing the sort of footage of Russell Wilson talking to Cam Hayward after the Bengals game, Cam Hayward looked defeated, and that does worry me. You know, Russell Wilson saying, "Come on, we can win 4 in a row," and Cam Hayward was just kind of like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah, but it's not just the defeats; it's who we lost to. So
The
we lost,
big teams, yeah.
yeah, and they are the kind of teams who you're going to have to beat in that 4 in a row. And to say that's why Steelers fans are kind of losing their minds because okay, so what's happened this year? So we've improved, but we're still going to be a 10-win team who loses in the first round of the playoffs. So what is the exact improvement? And yeah, that's because it's unfortunate that now it's the Chargers that are going to the Texans, and it's even the Ravens who are hosting this game instead of the Steelers. Because let's face it, the Steelers let this division just get out of hand, and it should have been. So yeah, that's what Steelers fans are wondering. Like, so we're supposed to be better. Okay, we're better, but how exactly are we better? Like, we're better against bad teams, but then when it comes to the Bengals, the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Eagles, we get absolutely smacked. Like, yeah, and they are the best of the NFL. So
I think we can see why the Steelers were trying so hard to get a number 2 receiver in the offseason. Because offensively, if you have a simpler scheme, you've got to have talent to just take over in moments. And while Pickens is good, you can't like it's so Pickens centric. Like there's no one else that's really going to take over the game. And you know, Fryermuth's good. I think he's more than capable and worthy of being the tight end. But these other guys like Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, they can make plays, but sporadically. Let's face it, not you're not going to be able to hang your hat on either of them in a massive playoff game. Now the Ravens, this Ravens offense, they're not going to have Zay Flowers this week, but with Lamar and King Henry, like this is exactly what I thought it was going to be, just constant stress. Like you overcommit to King Henry and Lamar on the read option runs the other way. Or you're playing Lamar and then King Henry just gashes you. Or you overplay the run and because Lamar is an elite thrower, you get killed in the pass game. This is a difficult task. And yeah, I mean, the Ravens defense, they have been trending up. I'm not saying that all of their issues are fixed. You know, they're still, 30th against the pass, but they have been improving and just at the right time. Ravens are going to win this game, I think. I think it's a shame that, as you said, Paul, if the Steelers had beaten the Bengals and they were going into Houston, I'm picking the Steelers all day, but they're not. They're going into Baltimore, and despite their 8-2 record against the Ravens in the last 10 games, as you said, I think there's just too much to fix, too much to overcome on this slide of losses. So sadly for the Steelers, I think this is one and done. Ravens win, but Steelers cover this excessive spread.